Goat farming is seeing a remarkable surge in popularity across the globe. Many people are drawn to these charming and useful animals. One big reason is the growing desire for self-sufficiency and sustainable living. Families want to know where their food comes from. They want fresh, wholesome products right from their own backyard. Goats offer a fantastic way to achieve this goal. They can provide milk, meat, and even fiber. This connection to food production is a powerful motivator for many aspiring goat keepers. It brings a sense of satisfaction and security. Another factor contributing to goat farming's rise is the versatility of goats themselves. Unlike larger livestock, goats are relatively small and manageable. This makes them suitable for smaller plots of land, even some suburban backyards where local rules permit. They are known for their curious and often affectionate personalities, making them enjoyable to be around. Many new farmers find that goats are not just livestock but also engaging companions. Their smaller size also means that initial investment costs for animals and infrastructure can be lower compared to cattle or horses, making entry into farming more accessible for beginners. The demand for goat products is also steadily increasing. Goat milk is often easier to digest than cow's milk for people with lactose sensitivities. It is also used to make delicious cheeses, yogurts, and soaps. Goat meat, or chevon, is a lean and healthy protein source popular in many cultures worldwide. As consumers become more health-conscious and adventurous with their food choices, the market for these niche products expands. This creates real economic opportunities for small-scale goat farmers. The potential to turn a passion into a profitable venture is a significant draw. Furthermore, goats are known for their efficient foraging habits. They can thrive on a variety of vegetation, including brush and weeds that other livestock might ignore. This makes them excellent for land management and clearing overgrown areas naturally. Their environmental footprint can be relatively light, especially when managed with sustainable grazing practices. This ecological benefit appeals to environmentally conscious individuals. The combination of practicality, economic potential, and ecological advantages makes goat farming an attractive option for a diverse range of people today, from homesteaders to small business entrepreneurs. Before you bring your first goat home, some very important homework is necessary. This groundwork will save you a lot of trouble later on. First, you must investigate local laws and zoning regulations. Many towns, cities, and counties have specific rules about keeping livestock, including goats. There might be limits on the number of animals you can keep. There could be rules about how far enclosures must be from property lines or neighbors' homes. Contact your local planning department or agricultural extension office. They can provide you with the necessary information about these crucial legal aspects. Next, take a serious look at the space you have available. Goats need adequate room to roam, graze, and exercise. Overcrowding can lead to health problems and stress for the animals. A general guideline is about 250 square feet of outdoor space per goat, but more is always better. Consider the quality of your land too. Is there existing pasture, or will you need to plant some? Is the terrain suitable, or is it too rocky or swampy? You also need space for housing, feeders, waterers, and possibly a milking area. Careful assessment of your available land is key. Resources are another vital consideration. Think about your access to essential supplies like feed and hay. Will you need to travel far to purchase them, and how will this impact your costs and time? Access to a veterinarian experienced with goats is absolutely critical. Not all vets specialize in small ruminants, so find one before you get your animals. You should also consider your own time commitment. Goats require daily care, including feeding, watering, and health checks. Be realistic about how much time you can dedicate to their well-being every single day. Finally, consider your personal goals for raising goats. Are you interested in fresh milk for your family? Do you plan to raise goats for meat, or perhaps for fiber like mohair or cashmere? Maybe you want them as pets or for brush control. Your goals will influence the breeds you choose, the type of setup you need, and your overall management practices. Clearly defining your objectives from the outset will help you make informed decisions every step of the way. This clarity will guide your entire goat farming journey effectively. Selecting the right goat breed is a crucial step that aligns with your farming goals. Different breeds excel in different areas, so understanding their characteristics is important. For dairy purposes, breeds like Nubians, Saanens, Alpines, La Manchas, and Toggenburgs are popular choices. Nubians are known for their rich, high butterfat milk, though they can be more vocal. Saanens are often called the Holsteins of the goat world, producing high volumes of milk. Alpines are hardy and adaptable, also good milkers. La Manchas are distinctive for their tiny ears and calm demeanor, producing well. Toggenburgs are the oldest registered dairy breed, known for their consistent production. If your primary interest is meat production, breeds such as the Boer, Kiko, and Spanish goats are excellent options. Boer goats are large and muscular, specifically developed for meat. They grow quickly and have a good carcass yield. Kiko goats, originating from New Zealand, are known for their hardiness, parasite resistance, and ability to thrive on rough pasture with minimal input. Spanish goats, while not a uniform breed, are typically very tough and adaptable, often used in brush clearing operations and also for meat. Consider the climate and conditions of your farm when choosing a meat breed. For fiber production, Angora goats, which produce mohair, and cashmere goats are the main choices. Angora goats require more care, particularly with shearing and protection from cold, wet weather after shearing. Their long, lustrous mohair is a valuable fiber. Cashmere is the soft underdown produced by many goat breeds, but specific cashmere goats have been bred to produce higher quantities of this luxurious fiber. Fiber goats generally require a commitment to regular shearing and understanding the fiber market if you plan to sell it. This is a specialized area of goat farming. Lastly, if you're looking for smaller goats, perhaps for pets, 4-H projects, or very small-scale milk production, consider miniature breeds. Nigerian dwarf goats are popular dairy goats in a small package, producing surprisingly rich milk for their size. They are also known for their friendly personalities. Pygmy goats are stocky little goats, often kept as pets or for show. They are hardy and amusing. Always buy your goats from reputable breeders. Healthy, well-cared-for animals will give you the best start in your goat farming venture, regardless of the breed you ultimately select. Choosing the right location for your goat enclosure and shelter is fundamental to their health and happiness. Goats need a dry place to live. Select a site that has good drainage to prevent muddy conditions, which can lead to hoof problems and parasites. Ideally, the area should receive ample sunlight, especially in the morning, to help dry out the ground. Some shade is also essential for hot summer days. Consider windbreaks, like a line of trees or an existing building, to protect the goats from harsh winds, particularly in colder climates. Easy access for feeding, cleaning, and health checks is also very important for your daily routine. Goat housing does not need to be elaborate, but it must provide protection from rain, snow, wind, and extreme temperatures. A simple 3-sided shed, open on one side away from prevailing winds, can be sufficient in many climates. The structure should be sturdy enough to withstand weather and playful goats. Ensure good ventilation to prevent respiratory problems, but avoid drafts at goat level. The floor should be kept dry. Options include dirt floors, if well-drained, concrete, which is easier to clean but harder on joints, or wooden platforms. Ample bedding like straw or wood shavings is crucial for comfort and absorbency. The layout of your goat area should be planned for efficiency and the goat's well-being. Place feeders and waterers in locations where they are easy to access for both you and the goats, and where they will stay clean. Hay feeders should be designed to minimize waste. Goats can be picky eaters and will not eat hay that has been trampled or soiled. Water should always be fresh and clean. Consider how you will manage manure. Regular cleaning is essential for health. Plan for separate areas if needed, such as kidding pens for birthing or an isolation area for sick animals. When constructing shelters and planning the layout, think about predator protection. Even in suburban areas, predators like dogs, coyotes, or foxes can be a threat. The shelter should be secure, especially at night. Fencing, which we will discuss next, is your primary line of defense, but the shelter design can also contribute to safety. Ensure there are no gaps or weak points where predators could enter or goats could escape. A well-thought-out site and shelter will contribute significantly to a successful and enjoyable goat farming experience for everyone involved. Good fencing is absolutely non-negotiable when it comes to raising goats. You know, goats are notorious escape artists. They're intelligent, agile, and curious, which means they'll test every inch of your fence no matter how sturdy you think it is. A weak or poorly constructed fence will lead to escaped goats, potential damage to your garden, or even your neighbor's property. And honestly, it can be dangerous for the goats themselves if they wander onto roads. Investing in strong, reliable fencing from the start is, hands down, one of the wisest decisions a new goat farmer can make. It'll save you countless hours of frustration and worry in the long run, trust me. The most common and effective type of fencing for goats is woven wire fencing, often called field fence or sheep and goat fence. You want to look for wire with small enough openings, like 4-inch squares, to prevent goats, especially young kids, from sticking their heads through and getting stuck. The fence should be at least 4 feet high for most breeds, but some agile breeds or those with bucks might require 5 feet or even higher. Make sure the wire is stretched tightly and securely fastened to sturdy posts. Wooden posts are pretty common, but metal T-posts can also be used, especially for interior divisions. Now, electric fencing can be a valuable addition or even an alternative, either as a standalone fence or used in conjunction with woven wire. Adding 1 or 2 strands of electric wire along the top and bottom, on the inside, of a woven wire fence can really help deter goats from climbing, leaning, or digging under it. Multi-strand, high-tensile electric fencing is also an option, but it does require consistent power and regular checking to make sure it's working effectively. Goats need to be trained to respect electric fences, and proper grounding of the energizer is crucial for the fence to deliver an effective shock. Beyond just keeping your goats in, a good fence also helps keep predators out. Strong perimeter fencing is your first line of defense against threats like dogs, coyotes, and other wild animals. If predation is a significant concern in your area, you might want to consider adding predator deterrents like livestock guardian animals, dogs, llamas, or donkeys. Be sure to regularly inspect your fences for any damage, loose wires, or areas where goats might be trying to escape. Prompt repairs are essential to maintain the integrity of your fencing system. In the end, a secure fence means peace of mind for you and safety for your herd. Having the right equipment on hand will make your daily goat care tasks much easier and, honestly, a whole lot more efficient. You don't have to go out and buy everything at once, but there are some items that are just essential from day one. First and foremost, you're gonna need feeders and waterers. For hay, try to use feeders that minimize waste. Keyhole feeders, manger-style feeders, or even just simple hay bags work well. Goats have this habit of pulling hay out and trampling it, so a good feeder design really matters. For grain or supplemental feed, you'll want sturdy, non-tippable bowls or troughs. Make sure there's enough feeder space for all your goats to eat at the same time so you can prevent any bullying. Clean, fresh water should be available at all times. Heavy-duty buckets, tubs, or automatic waterers are all good choices. Buckets need to be secured so your goats can't knock them over. If you live in a place where it gets cold, you'll need heated water buckets or a tank heater to keep water accessible during winter. And don't forget, water containers need to be cleaned regularly to prevent algae growth and contamination. If you can, put your waterers in a shaded area during hot weather to keep the water cooler and more appealing. Easy access to clean water is absolutely critical for goat health, especially for milking does and during those hot summer months. Basic grooming and healthcare tools are also a must. Hoof trimmers are essential since goat hooves need regular trimming, usually every 6 to 8 weeks to prevent overgrowth and related problems. A good pair of hoof shears or trimmers will make the job a lot easier. You'll also want a basic first aid kit just for goats. This should include things like a thermometer, antiseptic wound spray or powder, bandage materials, electrolytes, and a dewormer recommended by your vet. Having a drenching gun or syringe is handy for giving oral medications. Other useful equipment includes collars and leashes if you plan to handle your goats a lot or take them for walks. If you have dairy goats, you'll need milking equipment. This could be as simple as a stainless steel pail or as fancy as a small milking machine. Buckets for carrying feed, shovels and rakes for cleaning pens, and maybe a wheelbarrow for moving manure or feed will also prove invaluable. Start with the basics and add more specialized equipment as your needs change and your herd grows. Having the right tools makes every task simpler and really helps keep your goats healthy and happy. Proper nutrition is the cornerstone of a healthy goat herd. Goats are ruminants, which means they have a 4-compartment stomach designed to break down fibrous plant material. Their main food source should be good quality hay or browse, things like leaves, twigs, and brush. Grass hay is a common choice, while legume hay like alfalfa is richer and often fed to milking does or growing kids. Make sure your hay is free of mold and dust. Goats can also be pastured, but honestly, they prefer browsing over just grazing short grass. And always make sure they have access to fresh, clean water, since it's essential for digestion and overall health. While hay and browse make up most of their diet, some goats will need supplemental feed, especially pregnant or milking does, growing kids, or working bucks. There are commercial goat feeds out there that have the right balance of protein, energy, vitamins, and minerals. Just remember to introduce any new feeds gradually to avoid upsetting their digestion. Loose mineral supplements made specifically for goats should always be available free choice. These provide important minerals like copper and selenium, which can be lacking in some soils and forages. Definitely avoid feeding goats things like kitchen scraps that are high in fat or sugar. Maintaining good health is really about regular observation and preventative care. Watch your goats every day for any signs of illness. Things like lethargy, loss of appetite, changes in manure, coughing, or nasal discharge. Common health concerns include internal parasites like worms, external parasites like lice or mites, hoof rot, and respiratory issues. It's a good idea to work with your vet to develop a parasite control program, which might involve regular deworming and pasture management. Hoof trimming every 6 to 8 weeks is crucial, and vaccinations like those for tetanus and clostridial diseases should be done as recommended by your vet. If you're planning to grow your herd or produce milk, some basic breeding knowledge is important. Does or female goats usually come into heat every 18 to 21 days during the breeding season, which is typically late summer through early winter for most breeds. Signs of heat include tail wagging, vocalizing, and showing interest in a buck. Goat gestation lasts about 150 days, or 5 months. Make sure you're ready for kidding season with clean, dry kidding pens. Understanding the basics of breeding cycles and kidding will help you manage your herd's reproduction and ensure healthy kids. Once you've got some experience and confidence under your belt, you might start thinking about how to make your goat venture financially sustainable, or maybe even profitable. There are a few different ways to generate income from goats. Selling goat milk and milk products like cheese, yogurt, and soap is a pretty popular route. Just make sure to check your local regulations about selling dairy products, since there are usually specific health and safety standards you'll need to meet. Some states let you sell raw milk directly from the farm, while others require pasteurization and licensed facilities for processed products like cheese, so it's really important to do your research. Raising goats for meat, also called chevan, is another significant market. Demand for goat meat is growing in a lot of communities, especially among certain ethnic groups. You can sell live animals to individuals or at livestock auctions. Or, you might choose to have animals processed at a licensed facility and then sell the packaged meat directly to consumers, at farmers markets, or to local restaurants. Marketing the health benefits and unique flavor of chevan can help bring in customers. Breeding stock sales can also be a good source of income if you build a reputation for healthy, high-quality animals of desirable breeds. Effective marketing really is key to selling your goat products. Start by figuring out who your target customers are. Are you aiming for local folks, specialty food shops, or maybe restaurants? Come up with a simple brand for your farm. A name, a logo, and a story about your farming practices can help you connect with people. Take advantage of local farmers markets. Build a website or social media presence, and network with other local food producers. Word of mouth from satisfied customers is incredibly powerful. Always offer high-quality products and great customer service to build up a loyal following. Joining the wider goat farming community can be a huge help too. Connect with local or regional goat associations, go to workshops, and join online forums. Experienced goat farmers are usually happy to share their insights and help newcomers avoid common pitfalls. These connections might also lead to opportunities for buying or selling animals, sharing resources, or even working together on marketing projects. Being part of a community not only makes goat farming more enjoyable, but it also gives you a support system as you face challenges and celebrate your successes. Embarking on a goat farming journey can be incredibly rewarding, full of learning experiences and the unique joys that come with working alongside these smart animals. Just remember, starting small is usually the best way to go. It gives you the chance to get hands-on experience and build your confidence without feeling overwhelmed. You can always expand your herd and your operations as you get more comfortable and knowledgeable. The skills you pick up, like observation, animal husbandry, and problem solving, will serve you well, no matter what. Every goat farmer makes mistakes along the way, so try to see them as learning opportunities rather than setbacks. One of the most important things you can do for success is to prioritize the health and well-being of your goats. That means giving them proper nutrition, clean water, adequate shelter, and regular health care. A healthy herd is a productive and happy herd. Make it a habit to observe your animals closely every day. Catching health issues early can make a huge difference in the outcome. Don't hesitate to reach out to an experienced goat vet if you have concerns. Building a good relationship with your vet is a key part of responsible goat ownership. Never stop learning. Goat farming is a vast world, And there's always something new to discover, whether it's about breeds, health, nutrition, or better management practices. Read books, attend workshops, join online forums, and talk to other goat farmers whenever you can. The more you know, the better decisions you'll be able to make for your farm and your animals. Keeping good records of breeding, health treatments, births, and expenses will help you track your progress, spot patterns, and manage your farm more effectively. Good record keeping is a real sign of a well-run operation. And finally, enjoy the process. Goat farming can be hard work, but it brings a lot of satisfaction too. The bond you build with your animals, the delicious products you create, and the sustainable lifestyle you support are all part of the appeal. Remember the reasons you wanted to start this adventure. With some planning, dedication, and a willingness to keep learning, you can build a thriving goat farm that brings you and your family years of enjoyment and fulfillment. Your caprine companions are ready to enrich your life in so many wonderful ways.